All right, John. Peel back the curtains. Kansas State is my Big 12 champion. I think Will Howard, Chris Kleiman, who, if you remember 2-3 years ago, people were wondering if Chris Kleiman would still be the coach at Kansas State before too long. Now he has built a powerhouse in the Big 12. I don't think it's Texas. I don't think it's Oklahoma. I've got K-State with a season good enough to vie for a college football playoff. When you look across the landscape objectively, what do you see?
I think to the point on K-State, I think their schedule is going to be meaty enough this year that they probably do have that opportunity. And a huge part of that would be playing Texas. They're going to be at Texas. They're also at Texas Tech. I mean, their road schedule is pretty tough this year. They're at Texas Tech, they're at Kansas. They're at Missouri in the non-con, who, I know a lot of people are kind of bullish.
Wait a second, John. Did you just say at Kansas in naming the tough games? What a world we live in now.
It is pretty crazy. That'll be at the end of the year. I mean, we'll see what kind of shape both teams are in, because Kansas has a much tougher schedule this year than they had last year. But I think that game will be a dogfight. So, and then they have TCU at home too. So, I mean, and TCU's schedule also sets up really nicely before that home game. I think they very well could be 6-0, 7-0.
I think so.
I think the opportunity would be there. For K-State to get that sort of recognition. Plus, they start ranked pretty high because of what they did last year. A lot of star power to replace, and it kind of has me hovering around more like a 9-3-ish expectation for K-State this year, with maybe one game one way or the other, as to where I could see that season going. I mean, look, the obvious answer here is, like most people are going to say, hey, Texas would be your shot at the playoff. I understand it. I mean, it makes, in a vacuum, it makes all the sense in the world, but it just, look, they've done this year after year after year for 13 straight years now, where they've had a very talented roster and found a way to mess it up. Steve Sarkisian is not a guy who strikes me as, his resume does not strike you as somebody that's going to be a college football playoff type of coach.
Yeah.
So I have a hard time believing in them. Texas Tech, I think a lot of potential, but I worry about their quarterback health. So look, there are options. TCU went there last year. I would lean no. I don't think that the Big 12 is going to have a playoff team. I would love for them to, as long as it is not Texas or Oklahoma. And, frankly, Oklahoma might deserve a mention here too, in large part because of the schedule. They get such a kiss on the way out the door with that schedule, avoiding really the top 3 to 4 toughest teams in the league. They get all 4 newcomers. That is a tailor-made schedule for Brent Venables to have a rebound year heading into the SEC. So they probably deserve a mention there too. But I find enough flaws in every single team so far in the league that I lean toward no, you won't have a playoff team. But I would not have told you TCU had any prayer last year of going to the playoff, and we saw what happened there. So definitely could happen. But as of right now, I lean toward no.
John, last one. Super easy. You're Big 12 champion. Go.
God, it's, John,
it's the last week before the season. You got to know. You got to have one locked in.
Well, so people have been asking me for a while. I know I got asked at Big 12 Media Days, and I was like, look, my head would say Texas. Like, Texas should win this thing.
That's roster.
My heart would say K-State. Would love for K-State to win this thing. So I kind of was like, look, going back and forth between all that, I took both of them out of it, and I said, all right, best of the rest. What's next up? And I was going Texas Tech. So Yep. I guess by that process of elimination, I go to Texas Tech with Oklahoma pretty close behind once again, just because of the schedule. But I don't believe in the combo of Dylan Gabriel and Brent Venables enough to go all the way to say that they would outright win the league. I think they very well could make it to Arlington. But Red Raider fans, there you go. I'll take Texas Tech.
122nd in total defense for Oklahoma last year. Not good, John. Not good. Now, everybody knows where to go to find you. They've already watched your stuff. But if they haven't, if the one person who hasn't, where do they need to find you?
Yeah, I appreciate that. So check it out on YouTube. Just John Kurtz, just my name here. You can find the YouTube channel there. Do a couple of live shows every week. I'm on Twitter. Obviously, you see the Twitter handle, JL Kurtz. Is how you can find me on Twitter. And if you are a K-State fan, I do a podcast called 3MA. It's like EMA, but with a 3. Wherever it is that you find your podcasts, you can listen to K-State coverage there.
That's John Kurtz, JL Kurtz. Thanks, John, for joining the show today. Everybody else, thank you for making Locked On Big 12 your first listen every single day. This has been, it always will be, Locked On. Hey, thanks again for making it your first listen every single day. Grande Dose.